Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to go ahead and walk through how we are meal planning for the month. If you haven't watched that video on why we decided to meal plan for the month, I will list it both in the cards here and then down below in the description box also. But we are going to meal plan for the month of August. For July, I went ahead and meal planned breakfast, lunch, and dinners for the entire month, and I put it in my monthly view of my catch-all planner. But for the month of August, I kind of want to use my monthly plan for pre-planning and things like that because I really needed it. So what I'm going to do instead is put it in my planner, but I'm going to put it in these sheets that I made on Google Docs. It has 2 weeks of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I just printed it on the back also. So I'm going to cut this to size so it will fit in the planner and then start planning out our meals. So as you can see, I am about 2 days shy, so I can either print out another page or I can just jot it down here. I think for now I'm just going to jot down the 30th and the 31st here on the bottom. The next thing I'm going to do is take note and see if there's any special occasions or anything like that that we have going on for the month so that I can plan accordingly. The next thing I'm going to do is on my July kind of brain dump, I had started putting down some meals, August meal ideas, so I want to make sure that I add those in. And then towards the back of my planner, I also have I've saved some of my older meal plans. So I'm going to take these out so that I can take a look and get ideas to see what we want to cook too. One more step that I take is that we have inventory of both our outside freezer and then our inside freezer. And thankfully, I have, these are older ones. Thankfully, I have, and I'm not sure why I'm saving them. You can just take these out. But thankfully, they're pretty up to date, so I don't need to re-inventory the freezers. They're just, I've kind of kept it up to date, so that's really good. The only thing that I do need to mark on here, again, you'll see my little man decorating my planner for me, is that tonight we are actually having one of these for dinner, so I have one left. But this is kind of how I put in our inventories. For our outside freezer, I have just like more individual type things listed here, and then here I have like our prepared meals. So what I do is do a freezer prep, and I will link to the July freezer prep if you didn't get to see that in the cards and down below. This I will try to remember where I printed it from and link it down below, but you can just, I look on Pinterest for like freezer inventory sheets, and then I printed it at 82% so it would fit in here. So I'm gonna also take these out for now so I have them ready to roll and I can see what we have. And then for the month of August, what we're gonna do is kind of, for the first week and a half, I'm gonna try to use what we have on hand. And then we'll go grocery shopping somewhere in here with our big haul. And the only reason we're doing that is because we had some finance things happen, and that's just the game plan for this month. Now we will, if we have to buy anything, smaller type things like eggs or something, I'll go ahead and get that for this week and a half here, but I'm going to do my best to plan to use up what we have before we have to go shopping later this week. I like saving my old meal plans because I can go back and get different ideas, and then some weeks I'll just reuse them. So I'll just take these 2 weeks and say, okay, what do we have and what do we have to purchase for it? And then I can just do the same 2-week meal plan. But I'm trying to do monthly, so I'm going to see what we can create from these. So for breakfast ideas, I wanted to start incorporating having my kids pick up a day, at least 1 day a week, where they can kind of do it themselves breakfast. My oldest for sure can get stuff prepped, but my littles could probably use some assistance. So I think what we'll do is on Fridays, breakfast will be Kids' Choice. I'm just going to write that up here so I don't forget. Kids' Choice breakfast. And then it can be something simple. So
scrambled eggs, oatmeal or cereal.
Okay, so we'll do, for this Friday, oats. So for this first Kids Choice, we can either do oats or overnight oats, and if they choose to do overnight oats, I will have them prep it the night before. So we'll do that for this first Friday. For the second Friday, we can do eggs, because that is something that my oldest can help with, and then we'll just switch back and forth for the month. We'll do overnight, we'll do an oats choice here, and then eggs again here. Saturday mornings, I like to let the kids go ahead and have cereal if they'd like. They get up early, and that's kind of, honestly, it's kind of a bribery to let them go ahead and have cereal if they let mom and dad sleep in a little bit. And then on Sundays, one day of the week, my husband likes to either make pancakes for the kids. So we'll do every other week, we'll say he can cook pancakes. And then the off ones, I will go ahead and take over and make one of our favorites has been biscuits and gravy, and that's something that I can do like a freezer prep for. What I do is just get the gravy and the sausage cooked, and I've prepped that. So actually, let me grab another piece of paper so that I can keep track of the things I want to meal prep. So breakfast, freezer, I want at least 2 sausage and gravy. Monday mornings tend to be, just getting back into the groove. So that could be something that we have already freezer prepped, or we can batch cook. So I think for this Monday, for sure, I already know I have some waffles in the freezer, so we'll do that. I'll just put freezer here. Freezer waffles, and then Monday here, we can do some breakfast cookies, and then I will mark to double batch, so we can have them. Well, that'll work out good on the first day of school. We're gonna have breakfast cookies again. So what I've done is here we're gonna have breakfast cookies, and then I skipped a week, and then we'll have them here, so that we're not having the same thing every week. There's nothing wrong with that. I know my kids, and they kind of like to have a little bit of a variety. And the other Mondays, they can have like yogurt and granola, or yogurt and berries. So we'll just mark that yogurt parfait, so we know. There's one more here. So I'm just going to keep going down the week and kind of figure out what's good for us, and just go on and off every other week if we can. We like to make some muffins, so we can do muffins on Tuesdays, and we will do so when I market carrot muffins double, and like this breakfast cookies double batch, it's just a little note to myself to make sure that I'm double batching these. That way, when it's marked freezer, I know that these should be in the freezer ready to roll. I can either double batch it these days, or I can pick a day and just batch everything that I want to do and put them in the freezer. So like a breakfast freezer cooking day. And I'm just kind of looking over our other breakfasts. You know what? We can do baked donuts this day. And then I go every other week. So now here's one space here, so we can do baked donuts here. And I'm going to go ahead and add it here too. So I have 2 full weeks. I'm just missing 2 from here and 1 from here. So since we're not having pancakes this week, I can do pancake muffins, which is just pancake batter, but I put it in muffin tins because we cook them all at once and it's much easier. And then on Wednesday we will do baked oatmeal because we haven't had that for a while, and we're not having oats this week. The kids are doing eggs. So let's see what the other one looks like. Same for here. We can do baked oatmeal because that's a pretty simple one to throw together. And then breakfast is done for the month. So now I'm going to move on to dinner instead of lunch, because lunch can kind of get a little tricky for me. I don't know why. It's kind of a stumbling block for me. So I'm going to move on to dinner now. I'm going to go back in to the ideas that I had jotted down and just put a couple in. So I know I wanted to do, what I try to do is do a different type of meat every other night. So we eat, our main proteins are chicken and ground turkey. And then sometimes we'll throw in fish. So if I have chicken here, I'll have ground turkey here and then fish, and then we'll do it again with either ground turkey or chicken. But I try not to put 2 back-to-back chicken meals or 2 back-to-back ground turkey meals. Not that I think my family would really mind that much. That way I'm hoping that the variety keeps them eating dinner. So my youngest has been requesting spaghetti and meatballs. So we can do that this day. And I'm just marking down spaghetti and meatballs, and then I made a little note, make ground turkey meatballs. So maybe I will get that prepped this weekend. If not, I just know that day I'm gonna have to be a little busy and make our own meatballs because I know that I have ground turkey in the freezer, and I don't want to go out and buy anything. Remember, for this week, I'm trying to make do with what we have for this week, for this week and a half. So with spaghetti and meatballs, I have all the stuff to make for it. I'm gonna make myself a note for weekend prep to make meatballs and pasta sauce. If I don't get to it, it is okay because I keep a jar of pasta sauce in the pantry for just such an occasion. So if I don't get to making the pasta sauce this weekend, if we decide we just really want to relax and just hone in on family time and I don't get to doing that, that is okay. But if I get ambitious and I get this stuff done, that's perfect. So we can actually have this more than one time. We'll do spaghetti and meatballs this day, and then again, we're just gonna go back and forth with the different weeks. Let's do it. I know, we'll do it on the first day of school because that is a fun meal that everybody enjoys. And if I have the meatballs prepped, it'll be really simple to do. So I just made myself a little note here to make enough meatballs for 2 dinners and at least a lunch prep. And then I know I have some prepped meals, freezer prep meals already. So I'm gonna fill that in for this first week here because we are trying not to spend, just use what we have on hand. So this week we can do, let's see, this is ground turkey, so this will be chicken. We can do chicken pot pie. That day we can do, so not this day, but this day would be chicken. This day we can do, I have one chicken bacon ranch in there. And I'm just going off the prepped meals that I have here already done. So I have a turkey meatloaf. We can do that here. Oh no. This day we'll do pizza because we're all home. Actually, I'm going to move that to Sunday. This is why I like to write in pencil so that I can erase. But I know we can make our own. We have all the ingredients to do this, to make dough and make pizza. So we'll do that on Sunday. And that'll be a nice way to end our week. And then, let's see, what else do we have in our freezer that we can do? I do have a couple more meals, but like the beef and veggies, we just had that earlier this week, so I don't want to have it again. This Hawaiian pork we're going to eat later this weekend, so I don't want to do that one. So we do have some chicken in here, and I think what I'm going to do for this day is put it down for Saturday afternoon. My husband has been wanting to try to grill. We have a whole chicken, so we will try to grill the whole chicken on Saturday and have that kind of as a lunch, a heavier lunch, so we can have a lighter dinner Saturday. Another thing I like to do with my inventory is that as I'm looking to see what I'm going to use up, I will just grab a highlighter and mark it off that I plan to use it so that I'm not using the meals twice. So for instance, here, the spaghetti and meatballs, I'm going to use some ground turkey. So I'm going to go over to our ground turkey and see, I think I did use 2 of these already. So I'm going to mark that off. I don't think I used all 4. I'll have to double check that. But I know I have some other ground turkey. So for the meatballs, for sure, I have ground turkey in a vacuum seal, 1 pound here, and then I have some ground turkey 1 pound chubs. So I know that I'm going to use some of them, and what I will do is just highlight it so that I know that a percentage of that is already spoken for. So since I've just marked this here, what I'll do is highlight this box and write how many I think I'm going to use. So for that, I'm going to at least count 3 pounds. I want enough for dinner, 2 dinners, and a lunch prep. And then here I used our chicken pot pie, so I'm going to mark this one. That way I know that's spoken for, and I don't try to fill this in somewhere else, making one meal magically into 2. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that there. And then I used the turkey meatloaf also, and the chicken bacon ranch. So I know kind of what's already spoken for. So Fridays, I like to have an easier dinner on Fridays because it's Friday and I'm done and I'm tired from the week. So I like to throw something in the Instapot or the slow cooker for sure. Let's see. Oh, I also put the whole chicken. We use that on our plan to use that Saturday. I think we could do a roast. I see I have a roast in there, so I will mark that. We can throw that in the slow cooker. Oops, I don't want to use pen. I've done that and I've had to do a lot of whiteout. So I have roast, and then I will actually, we have carrots, but we don't have potatoes. I like to do the roast with carrots and potatoes, but we'll do roast with carrots. And so I know I already have some chili that's frozen in the freezer, and then we have hot dogs. So on Saturday we can do a really simple meal of chili dogs. Another thing that my kids and I like to do is have a movie day, and we have kind of food-themed movies to go along with it. So, or things that make sense to us. So, for instance, on Friday we're gonna have oats, and so I know that I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Wallabies on Netflix, but they have that they eat oats, and it's in the movie. And then for lunch, instead of peanut butter and jelly, what I'll mark is marmalade sandwiches, and we can watch Paddington. And then I know if they want to add peanut butter to it, that's totally fine. But I'm just going to mark here movie day, so we know we're having kind of a themed. And then for dinner, we can do a kind of, now don't come at me, but it is not the absolute correct way, but we can kind of do a type of gumbo dinner and watch Princess and the Frog. Now when I say gumbo, I know that there are some people who make amazing gumbo and have a great family recipe. We are not one of those. We kind of just play it by ear and put stuff in there. So that's what we're going to do for this day. We'll have a movie day and we'll have a themed one. And mark it down there. We can kind of almost make it a freezer meal maybe. It may turn into more of a jambalaya instead of a gumbo, but I think my kids are good either way. And then, let's see. We have one movie day this month. I don't know if we want to push for 2. Maybe on Friday the 13th, it would be fun to do a movie day. Is that 2 back to back? That is. That's okay. I think that it's summer and they'll enjoy that. So for this day, we could do, we have down eggs. So instead, what I'll do is breakfast burritos, and what they had mentioned wanting to watch with that is this Playmobil movie. So I'll mark that, and then for lunch we will have Dino Nuggets, and we watch Dino Dana. The movie. And then for dinner, we already had spaghetti meatballs here. We're gonna have spaghetti and meatballs and watch Lady and the Tramp, but we'll think of a different dinner. Okay, so for that night, we'll go ahead and have Hawaiian pork, and we can watch Moana. So I mean, it's kind of a stretch on some of these movie and dinner type things, but it's fun, and so we're gonna do that. So I have that week done. Dinner here. We can do. So we have pizza that night. This night we're already having pork, so I don't want to do pork chops this week. But sweet and sour pork chops was one of the meals I had written down. So we can do here sweet and sour pork chops. And I'm going to mark that down on my list as a possibility to make for a freezer meal. So we'll have it once and then we'll have it again. So if you're going to make freezer meals, you might as well make 2 at a time, and then it just kind of stretches it. Oh, that puts us having it back to back, though. We could put it here. We could put it this Monday. Again, this is why we write in pencil. Here I had a new recipe, a ginger peach chicken with green beans. Again, I'm going to mark that on my freezer meals. And we're going to double it up and make 2. So we'll have one this week. We don't want to have it this week. We want to have it this week. We can have it on Friday. Now what I'm going to do is create our shopping list. All I'm going to do is, I've already started on this note page marking some of the things I need. The first thing I like to do is just mark my protein, how much of each I'm going to need. So I mark on here ground turkey and chicken. Actually, I have printed out another page. It is, when I first created this, this was the front side of the page and this was the back side, because we used to meal plan for 2 weeks at a time. So then I would meal plan and just flip my page over and have this on the back and mark down what I needed here. But since I was doing for the month, I went ahead and did that. So I can go ahead and put this, use this sheet where he has my ground turkey and chicken. What I like to do is just kind of go through and mark down anything that I may need to pick up from the grocery store. Okay, so that's everything. I'm just gonna double check and see if there's any household items we need. But here is my grocery list. It's ready to roll, so I can start getting that prepped and doing separate what I can pick up from like grocery pickup and then do the Costco run. And then here is our meal plan for the month. I hope in any way that this was helpful. Please let me know if you liked watching kind of my process through this and how we do it. And if you want to see what we do, if we do this again for next month, what we do. Stay tuned. I will show you what we do as we pick up our haul for this. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble on and just kind of process as we go through this. This is going to go in my planner now. I'm glad to have it done, and we have it all set for the month of August. I think I'm going to put it here. Here's where kind of my brain dump goes for the month of August, and then I'll have my meal plan, and then we'll have the monthly view, and we'll go into my weeks. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you meal plan, if you meal plan, and if you ever tried monthly meal planning. Thanks again.